let's go ahead and get started. The current situation is the Four of Swords. So I see that you've been at your limit, okay, and you're taking a break because you need to restore your balance. I see mental exhaustion, which is the result of lots of hard work and studying. And you're just retreating so you can get your solitude and have some peace and quiet, possibly being a little passive, okay? But this is really good, okay? That's your current situation. Your obstacle that's coming up in the near future was Three of Cups reversed. So I see there has been something to excess. Now, to clarify it, we got a major arcana, which before I actually started clarifying, the only major arcana you had was Lovers reversed, okay? But when I clarified your obstacle, we got the World, okay? And here they call it the universe. And it's number 21, which if you do that together equals to 3, okay? So these definitely do go together. Now with the World and the Three of Cups, this talks about graduations, maybe going into the army. There's a celebration of some sort and not being isolated. But here the Three of Cups is reversed. So this is gathering, okay? Not being isolated, celebrating a graduation. This is an achievement, a culmination of everything that you've done, especially with both of these together. These are both culmination cards and achievement and gathering for celebrations. But you have this one in reverse. So this tells me that perhaps you are isolated. It could be that your graduation has been delayed, or you're not graduating, or you aren't celebrating something. And the fact that you're taking this break, I think you're taking a break from college. That there's from some kind of studies, something that makes you work very, very hard. It could be also leaving the party lifestyle, because maybe you were too exhausted from that lifestyle. Also with Three of Cups, perhaps some of you who are in college, you had to write a thesis and it's mentally exhausted you, because here with this in reverse, I see not writing a thesis. Okay, if you're taking a break, that means you've probably you're on some kind of a hiatus or a holiday, not as a vacation, but just because of the work. So I see like a manuscript of some sort in reverse. Could be you're just a writer. Talking about the clarifications decks in the primary, you had Ace of Pentacles overall. So I see, getting what you want, that new opportunity, a new job, new love, new career. When I see the Three of Cups and Ace of Pentacles, as well as another card that's in here, I see you're going to get your desires, okay, your career and your study. You're going to do well on your exams, okay? Maybe that's why you're taking a break. Maybe you're abstaining from partying. You're trying to get some rest so you can do better. Or if you did take a break from your college, when you do get back, you will do better, okay? If you couldn't graduate because maybe you didn't pass an exam, eventually you will get there, okay? So don't worry about it. Clarifying the clarifying deck. At the bottom overall was Five of Cups, disappointment and loss, okay? Now I do see some initial disappointment possibly with college, but later on there may be some more disappointment and we'll talk about that later. All right, coming to steps that can help you with your obstacle. Well, I want to go back here real quick. You see the first card, Three of Cups reversed, is usually some kind of a negative connotation. Being isolated, not fulfilling something's not ending quite just yet. It's not culminated. And then you have the World right next to it, which is a very positive card. So see it first, not so great. Later, it will be great. Okay. But now coming to your steps to help, we got Five of Pentacles reversed, which is super great. This tells me that the suffering is going to end, and maybe you thought you lost an opportunity, but you're going to get it back, okay? Because this karmic lesson that you're learning, you're releasing this. This is a burden released. And actually, we have 2 cards with burden released, okay? One of your potential outcomes is releasing a burden, okay? So one of your steps is you're going to have to release possibly a financial burden or something that is holding you back. It doesn't necessarily have to be monetarily. And with this 5 here, I see the suffering was temporary, okay? So you're going to get out of it. It may be that you have to dig yourself out of overwhelming debt with the 10 of Wands reversed. Okay, so that may be something, maybe you took a break from college because you had too much debt. Maybe you decided just not to attend college. You decided to take a break after you've graduated something else because you have too much debt. Perfectly understandable. And then you probably do have some low self-esteem, but your advice is to get it back, okay? But you're basically just coming out of suffering. You're coming out of the cold. And that's what I see, because here we have isolation, and then here you're going to have to come out of isolation, okay? Clarifying those, we have 8 of Wands, which is accelerated motion. So something, you're going to get some kind of a really quick message. Could be about love, but I mostly just see a message. Could be an inspiration, creative idea, because we do have 8 Wands. And this is all about movement. Could be that you actually do move. But see how she's looking at the star? When I see star, I see hopes and expectations. So you're going to get some kind of message, inspiration, some kind of notion that's going to give you some hope. And it's going to help you obtain things and take action. You're going to be reborn. You're going to change. You're going to accomplish something. And you may just be changing your mind, because 8, I see changes of mind. So you may change your mind about something. Like, yes, okay, I'm going to come out of isolation. I'm going to get out of my overwhelming burden, not necessarily monetarily. And I get 9 of Cups. So once you change this mind, once you get this message, something's going to help you get out of the cold, from out of this burden. You're going to release the burden, and you get 9 of Cups. That's your wish, okay? Very positive. So that's what's going to help you. Changing your mind about something, having a better perspective, possibly receiving a message that will help with that. Then we come to your strengths. We have 10 of Cups. When I see 10 of Cups, I see a very happy, stable institution, whether it's a relationship, college, a job. I mean, that's just what I see, okay? That's your strength. You have a lot of support, or at least that's what you're aiming for, okay? Clarifying that, we have 2 of Pentacles. I mean, not 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands. Whoops. So it's called the waiting game. You have a choice to make. And usually it's about whether or not you want to be in a relationship, you want to accept an offer, whether or not you want to be in college or not. Okay. So that's your strength. You're going to be able to wait until the time's right. You're willing to wait through the winter so you can experience the spring. It looks like you have a lot of support in order to do that. So some other challenges you have, which could be other obstacles, as well as things that the cards are challenging you to do. And you got Lovers reversed. So another major arcana. You only have 2, and this was the original, so let's go over it more in depth, especially since it's in reverse. Another obstacle that may come up is that you get out of a union. Okay? That's one potential option. The other option as an obstacle is you're doing the waiting game, but you wait just a little too long. Okay? And that 5 of Pentacles, it can warn you of missing an opportunity. So again, your obstacle could be you wait too long. So I would not wait too long on anything. I would not be too indecisive. Waiting is a decision, okay? This is saying not making a decision at all. Also, maybe feeling like you made the wrong decision. But I do see a little bit of love in here just because it is the Lovers. Now, this does tend to be more of an education/business reading, but things happen in all areas of our lives at the same time. So it could be while you're working on all this, somebody wants a divorce. Somebody wants to break up. Somebody was unfaithful, okay? Well, that's really all I see. I mean, here I do see some foolish plans and some failure, but not a lot. We do have the Six of Wands later in here, and usually the Lovers and Six of Wands indicate the one, but Lovers is in reverse. So here I think it is that you might break up with somebody who's not the one, okay? You thought they were perhaps and they aren't. Now with Ace of Pentacles and Lovers, I see somebody moving out because Ace of Pentacles is here. Since it's in reverse, I see moving out from a partner. I do see this more in the romantic area. And then, with Five of Cups, I see tears, disappointment, because Five of Cups is over here, okay? With the Five of Cups in the world, I see sadness and disappointment. With Five of Cups, I see lots of disappointment pretty much everywhere. And so that's why I think this Five of Cups is about a conflict later on. I think it's your other obstacle that pops up for you. I don't see too much else other than maybe you're trying to avoid some consequences or evade something. But that's all I'm really seeing here with this Lovers. Now, clarifying the Lovers, that usually means there's two things that you're picking between or not picking between. One is the Five of Wands, okay? And that is obstacles and challenges. We do have three, is it three? Yeah, we have 3 5 cards, okay? We have Five of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Five of Cups. That's a lot, but basically I see impermanence. So this disappointment is impermanent. The burden being left out in the cold, it's impermanent, and then you release it, or you should release it. Okay, that's some that's advice and the steps to take portion. And then we have the Five of Wands. So I see a lot of impermanence. Five of Wands is about conflict and strife, and just I see this as a pretend. Okay. Normally there's these people and they're fighting with all of these wands, but they're not really hitting each other. They're just hitting their sticks. That's usually what I call the frenemy card. But mainly I just see somebody who's not being true. And there's just a big conflict. There's a competition. When I see competition, I think third party. Okay. And the reason I think that is because the Lovers can tell me about a love triangle, and it's in reverse. I see that it causes problems for the relationship. Most likely the dissolution of that relationship. And then with the Three of Cups in reverse, I also see that as infidelity and the dissolution of a relationship because of a third party. That's why I think the threes came up for that. But whatever's going on with you, it's impermanent. The negative things are impermanent. And that's just how life is anyway, because we know with the Wheel of Fortune in the world, things just right themselves after a while. And with Five of Wands, something that you're also deciding between is being diligent. So here we have like being more laid back, more passive, and then we have being diligent. Fighting, being bold and confronting your uncomfortable emotions, dealing with these inner conflicts, possibly even creative conflicts for those of you in the working world and in this academic arena. You're just clashing with your partner, and then this is breakup. So you're trying to decide you're between this breakup and then Six of Pentacles, which is forgiveness to me. Usually it's forgiveness when we have the Five of Swords, but it's just not in here. But since the Six of Pentacles is about generosity and giving attention, I see you're trying to decide between breaking up and apologizing, giving somebody more attention, and being very generous toward them despite this flaw. Okay. I also see this as, sorry, I need something to drink real quick. Okay, so talking about all this work and hard achievement, this breakup could also just simply be about breaking away from a job, breaking away from schooling, and here deciding whether or not you want to fight for it and break up, or keep clashing and then break up, or if you want to forgive and then work really, really hard to achieve something. Because here with the Six of Pentacles, it's being vigilant. The relationship or the course of action has some merit to it, so you don't just want to give up on it entirely. And you get lots of attention and presence from this person, possibly. And you've achieved a lot through hard work and your own wit, okay? So when I think of wit as being the way to achieve, I mainly see through education and studying, like the world might indicate, okay? So it does apply for love and that. Maybe you have a lover or husband who wants you not to get an education, and you're really trying to weigh the pros and cons, and that's very good. And your strength is you do have this support, and you're willing to wait. Maybe they don't want you to do it right away, and you're trying to decide. But from what I see here, you will end up going and getting your education or completing whatever it is you needed to complete in the first place that you took a break from. And I think money is an issue for your college, for those of you who are in the college. Because it seems like there may have been some wasteful spending. Then we have getting out of a bunch of debt, and then releasing a burden. In the end, you release a burden. And then with the Ace of Pentacles, it says you get an imminent money solution. Okay, and I see you getting that imminent money solution because your potential outcome is Ten of Wands. You release a burden. So one, I think you release a burden such as money. And I do see that you come out of it, you release it. I also see you release a burden of a relationship that may not have been very supportive. You really wanted that happy marriage, and perhaps you did not have it, but your strength is that you want it, and you know what you want, and you're willing to wait for it. Okay, so you do release it. And with these two together, Ten of Wands and Five of Pentacles, it's called getting rid of debt. And the reason why this Three of Cups was was a problem for you is because both of these, since they're in reverse, says whatever it was that you were weighing, whether it's a party lifestyle, college, a marriage, dealing with somebody's infidelity, the demands were too overwhelming. Okay. You were taking a break, you were getting your rest, you were very peaceful, and then bam, you get overwhelmed with something. Okay. And then with your potential outcome, since it's right under the Four of Swords, these go together, it says you will, again, get that rest. That maybe that's just what you wanted and you didn't get it. But you will get it at the end because these two go together and they're on top of each other. Now, to clarify this 10 of Wands, we have 6 of Wands. Very good. So this tells me that you'll be very triumphant and get exactly what you want. It's not every day that this is a good card, okay, 'cause sometimes it's bad, but here it's going to be good for you. 6 of Wands is when you pair it with the World, okay, and with releasing this heavy burden, you get over some kind of financial issue or relationship issue, and you took a break from college for some reason, you took a break from your job, whatever it might be, you release a burden, and then you graduate, okay, because World in here talks about graduation. Here, this is celebrating graduation, but it didn't happen. Something happened, it was delayed, or you took a break. And then at the end, you release some kind of burden and you graduate. You can trump your trumpet. Okay, very good. So I told you this heartache, this loss, whatever it is, loss and emotional loss, it's only temporary. And then I think this also, with the Ace of Pentacles, not only was there an imminent money solution, but you graduate. You have something very dear. You get started on a new path. You get a brand new job. Very, very good outcome, okay? This talks about present prosperity. And I also see that with 6 of Pentacles. I see the time is now for the prosperity, okay? To get a gift, whatever it might be to give. Maybe you get divorced and you get some kind of settlement out of it, and it helps you. There's an imminent money solution, and you get to go to college, okay? Maybe somebody has to do alimony.